Now I can talk. I wanted to make sure the volume on my computer was off before I started talking. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Just a little bit. It's Makeover Monday. It's Makeover Monday. Now, I did not go thrifting on Thursday because we were snowed in, right? So I went into my craft room and started digging around for an item that I found in one of my other Thrifting Thursdays. And I bet you could never guess what it's going to be tonight. I may have mentioned a few times that I absolutely love these things. They're one of my favorite things. I have a weakness for them. And I love to just take them and make them over. So, can you guess? I should have posted a little notice that I'm going to do live. There are some things that are going to change. I'm going to wait until I get people joining me so that I can bring it up. And I'll also put it in the comments or in the description. But I'm going to make a few changes about where my lives are happening. But for tonight, we're doing it here. This is a piece of glass that I baked in the oven. And I covered the wood with foil so it wouldn't get burnt up. I don't know if it made a difference. I figured it best safe than sorry. But I need to paint it. And I inked it with the word lucky. And I'm going to put it on here. So I need to paint the piece of wood black and wash the glass. And it's going to go right here like that. And so that's just a little something I made for St. Patrick's Day over the weekend. This was my fun, not recording, not doing live, just doing it for fun crafting project that I did. And then I made a little matching piece. To go with it. So, these are the two pieces. So, I gotta finish that up. For now, I'm just going to leave them here. Throw the foil away. And then this is a glass dish that I inked. I'm in an event. I'm in an online event that's still going on until Saturday. I've already given away one prize. And I think there's like 2 or 3 more to go, which I need to hurry up and get on there and do it. But, because time is almost up. But this is one of the things I made, showing them how to ink on glass. And all I have to do now, I baked it last night, and I forgot to take it out of the oven this morning. So I took it out of the oven when I got home. And I need to thread it with this again. And it'll be ready to go to my booth. I gotta fix that. Alright, so I wanted to show you a little something that happened to last week's makeover. So last week I made over this little wood pig that I found. I found the little wood pig and I picked him up because I have this little wood pig. I've had this little wood pig for a long time, and when I saw this little wood pig, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with him, and that was this. So he's been sitting on my shelf and moving around with me and everything, all by its lonesome. And then on one of my thrifting Thursdays, I found this little wood pig, and it had this little hole in it. So I made this part at the bottom, and I added these little feet, and I need to touch up some paint on the feet. But I didn't finish that because I painted this and chalked on it, took it to the back, and I sprayed it with some polyurethane, you know, to protect it from being used, because, you know, it can be used as a hot plate or whatever, and it turned it yellow. So I have to redo it. So I'm going to sand it down, repaint it, re-chalk it, and then I'll use Mod Podge. That's the safe way to go, Mod Podge. I need to know, I don't know, I mean, Mod Podge can't be the only answer to sealing these things. I've tried polyacrylic the polyacrylic polyurethane stuff, this is not the first time this has been an issue. And so I could probably use it on darker things. I'm not going to just throw it away. I can't do that. That's not in my brain. It's not in my chemistry to do that. So I'm going to keep using it until it's gone, but it's going to have to be on dark items because of this. So I'm going to redo it with Mod Podge, but if you have any suggestions besides Mod Podge for sealing something like this without it turning colors on me like that, I mean, it's like ruined. I was so sad. I sprayed it before I went to bed, got up the next morning so I could turn it over to spray it, and I saw this. And I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can see. There's this side with all the staining and everything on it. And then here's the original side. Here's the back side that I hadn't sprayed yet. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I hadn't sprayed it yet. So, my little pig. I have to fix him. Okay. So what am I going to do tonight? Well, tonight I am going to do, surprise, surprise, a cutting board. I found this cutting board at Middle Earth Treasures, gosh, probably a couple of months ago, a while back. I think it was my very first Thrifting Thursday at Middle Earth Treasures is when I found this. When I was shopping live with everybody, picked up this cutting board. Look how thick that is. It's massive. I paid more for it than I normally would. Number one, because of the cause. Middle Earth Treasures, she does all she does, all the work she does. She doesn't even take a paycheck. She works that place to death. Well, not to death, but you know what I mean. She works that place day after day after day. And the funds, all the profits that she makes off of that goes to the Little Lighthouse. And you local people in Tulsa, I'm sure you know what the Little Lighthouse is. I don't know if anybody else knows much about the Little Lighthouse outside of Tulsa. I will put some links to their website if you're interested to check them out. I need to remember to do that. I need to remember to start putting links to the websites of the places that are being helped by these different thrift stores. So I'm going to do this cutting board, but since I paid $9.99 for this, which is way over what I would normally do, okay? Because I'm very, very cheap. I don't want to pay more than $5. If I could stay under $5, that makes me happy. But since it was such a good, nice, big, thick cutting board, and it was Middle Earth Treasure, I went ahead and splurged. So since I did that, I'm going to make this two-sided. This is going to be a normal, everyday, year-round side. And then this side is going to be for Christmas. But it's not going to be all bright and colored. It's going to be all the same kind of coloring. So we're going to start with this side and then do this side. So what I'm going to do, I believe I brought my paint in. I'm going to do an ivory color. I want it to be soft. I don't want it to be too in-your-face white or in-your-face black on the normal everyday side. And then I will probably do black for the Christmas side. I'm sorry. I need to take a drink of water. This is more talking than I normally do. Normally I just sit quietly. Okay. So that you can see what I've got going on down here on the table, I'm going to go ahead and lower the camera. So if you have a tendency to get dizzy, just close your eyes. And once it's all ready to go, I will let you know. So you can open your eyes again. Okay, here we go. Lowering the camera. And I'm sure I'm going to have to do it some more. Let's see what that looks like. That's a little too low. Let's do that angle right there. that'll work. All right, so safe to open those peepers if you have them closed. I know I have migraines every so often, and stuff like that can really be hard. Okay, I'm not gonna look at that price tag anymore. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is take this off so that I don't accidentally paint it. And then I'm gonna paint the entire board. I'm really missing my thrifting. I haven't been able to go for 2 weeks because first I was sick, and then we had our snow. So I haven't been thrifting for 2 weeks. Let's see. I did volunteer Saturday, so that kind of, gave me a little bit of a thrift fix. What am I doing? I'm not getting it. There we go. So I'm just gonna do a light coat of this ivory. I'm using ivory today. I'm probably going to use a brush to get, I may leave that, I don't know. I may just leave it unpainted inside that little groove. We'll see how it looks when I'm done. Make a decision. So here's what I'm thinking about doing. Here's what I want to start doing. I want to start raising funds to contribute to the organizations that these stores are working to help. So what I'm thinking I want to do is every month pick one of the thrift stores as the thrift store of the month. Do my lives on Thursday on my personal account where we go shopping. Do the Found It Friday on this area where you are now in this location, which is in the business count. Show what I find at the thrift store. And then do Makeover Monday in my VIP group. So I don't want to call it VIP group. My Wannabe Crafty Society. My Wannabe Crafty friends on Monday. And then what I would like to do at the end of the month is take the items that we make over and sell them. Do like, I don't know if I want to do an auction or do like, like the paparazzi people do. Make them available to be purchased. And the profits from those sales, which is basically the net amount after the cost of buying the surface, will go to the organization that particular thrift store is working for. Does that make sense? I feel like I need to take it a step further than what I've been doing. I mean, showing people that they're there is great. Helping to raise awareness, to draw in more business is great. To make people know that, Loaves and Fishes is there for others who may need it, that they can, recommend people to go to should they have the need. That's great, but I feel like I'm not doing enough. And I want to do more for these organizations. So that's what I want to start doing. if I put these in my booth to do that with, there's really no way to make much of a profit because I have the overhead of the booth rent. But if I do this online, it cuts back on my expenses and more money can go toward the organizations. I like that. So far, so good. It's too much. So I'm going to go ahead and to the side. I love this chalk paint. It dries so fast. It's perfect for us impatient crafters who want to do everything now and want it to be done now. I don't want to wait 24 to 48 hours for my paint to dry. I do have some little containers of the quick dry acrylic paint, but I haven't been willing to use it yet because I don't trust them. I don't trust that they're really truly quick dry. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But quick dry to me is like what we're seeing here. This thing is gonna, most of it's dry before I even finish painting it. There we go. Now, I'm thinking if I like the storm paste on the front, I'm probably going to do the Christmas side in the storm paste as well. I like the soft, I like all the different ways to do colors, but sometimes I just get in the mood to just have it all mild, you know? I'm running out of places to hold. I might have to take the dryer to it. Okay, let me take a dryer to this for a little bit. You might get loud, so you might want to turn down your volume. I did the sides a little thicker than the front. I might go ahead and take a sandpaper to it as well. Gotta do this side. So tomorrow, I was sitting here earlier making my list. Tomorrow, we are launching the new, where is it? Here's page one of my list. Our new spring and summer collection for 2022. That launches tomorrow at 9 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 10 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Pacific, and 11 o'clock Eastern. February 8th, 2022 is when the new line will launch, and it's open to anybody and everybody. And the stuff that they have, oh my goodness. Plus, I'm preparing for a big event in April. We're talking huge, so I have to start. We've started already. We have to get things in advance to make sure I can afford it. I gotta do a little bit at a time. But I'm excited because a couple of ladies on our team in our upline are flying in from California to help myself and my friend, who's also a chalk couture designer, to do this event in April. And we are just over the moon excited. I can't wait to meet them in person. I haven't had the opportunity to meet them in person yet. All of it's been online. This is breaking, but I want to finish this off before I throw this sponge away. It's getting harder to finish, to do. I'm too cheap to start a new one. I shouldn't say cheap, I should say frugal, right? I'm attempting as much as I can in all the places I can to be a good steward. Of course, if you look at my shopping records, you might disagree. All right. There. It's completely painted. I think that's all I'm going to do. I don't think I want to do a second coat. I like the way this looks. I'm probably even going to sand it a little bit. That's really pretty, I think. So, this is coming off, and now I have a dowel, and that's going in the trash. And I believe I'll take a dry to this for a second. It's really cool because I can literally see the paint drying. I know I'm a weirdo. I see there's a little bit of a crack right there, but it won't be that noticeable when I'm done with it. Okay, so I'm just kind of touching up the edge here. It's a little funky. But I didn't want a thick coat either. I just wanted to okay. Right into the paint. I have some sandpaper here. I want to sand it just a little bit in a few places here. So I guess I could do it up here and just clean it up when I'm done. I'm doing the edges. Maybe I want to do a little bit rougher. I don't know what grit these are. A little bit on the edges. Let's see. I'll do this edge without I just want to kind of catch the edge. I'm just very carefully doing the edges here. There we go. Just a little. Doesn't have to be perfect. There will be some places it'll be scraped a little more so than others. Where and tear doesn't happen in a perfect format, right? So I think this month let's pick Turning Point. Turning Point will be the first one that we raise funds for. And it won't actually go to Turning Point, it will go to Loaves and Fishes. So this is one of the items that will go for sale to raise funds for Loaves and Fishes. And Loaves and Fishes, I think they have a website. I'll put a link to it if I find one. And you can check them out and see what they're all about. I think I want to just this is not doing much. It got the crack. Just kind of little scuff marks here and there. There we go. I think that looks good. Put a little bit up on the handle, right? Because people touch the handle a lot. Of course, you can't forget the edges. Created quite a mess on my desk. But I'm quite pleased. So that's what we have so far. Now, I need to clean this mess. My shirt's definitely going to have to go in the wash. So, while I'm doing all this, if you're interested in seeing where this goes, where all of these changes go and how they happen, you just want to check things out as far as what I'm doing with the thrifting and the upcycling and raising funds for the different organizations, be sure to follow my page. I will put the link to my page in the description. Follow it, like it. If you want to join the Crafty Society, join a Wannabe Crafty Society, just type society in the comments and I'll get you the link to that so you can see how the makeovers are happening. You want to see the shopping, the Thrifting Thursday lives, just type thrifting and I'll send you the location to go for those. I'm liking it. I like how it looks. I think it's already an improvement. Now, we need to wax this. I will be right back. I forgot to grab my wax. The only areas I need to worry about waxing are, oopsie, the poor cabinet. Oh no. I have to hammer those back in. I got them back in. Are the areas where we're going to put the transfer. I'm not finishing my thoughts. I don't know what's going on all of a sudden. Hey, Linda. How's it going? How was dinner? Okay. So I was just saying, Linda, I'm going to change things up a little bit on how I do these weekly things. And Thursdays I'll be doing my thrifting live in the same places I've been doing it, same location. And then Fridays I will be showing what I found in this location. I'm sure it was. They're always good. They never fail anyone that I'm aware of. And then Mondays in my society I will be doing the makeovers. And at the end of the month I'm going to sell everything that I make over, and the profits from those sales will go to one of the organizations for that month. We'll pick one organization each month, and the profits from those sales will go to those organizations. Because I feel like I need to do more than what I'm doing. So that's what I want to do. So here we go. I forgot to take a before picture. That's okay. It'll be alright. I need there we go. Now it's ready. Ready to be chalking. So for the front, I want to do this. Believe it or not, on here. I know it's on my pig, but my pig's not going anywhere. So I'm going to do this on here like this. Okay? So that way when it's used as a decorative item, it can sit this way. So, first thing we always do is make sure you write on the back. So that way when we replace our transfer back to the backing, we are sure to put it on the correct side, which is the shiny high gloss side. I don't know if you know anything about our transfers, but we have a screen mesh. Wherever you're seeing my hand through the transfer is a screen mesh. There's no holes or anything. It's kind of like silk screen. They are self-adhesive, and I'm not fuzzing it because, as you can see, it's been used quite a bit. So I just want to center this as much as possible. I'm not sure how to measure this funky shape. That's about right. Perfect. Now, let's make sure it's this way too. Oops. Okay, it's a little low. So I'm going to raise it up just a tad. Okay, making sure it's straight. I almost forgot how to measure. All right, and now I'm just going to work out all the air bubbles. Okay, and I'm going to use Peachy Keen, look at that, and Storm. These are the old formulas. Yes, I'm still using the old formulas. I refuse to throw them away. As long as they're continuing to work, I'm going to continue to use them. I'm going to do the pig last because it's a small amount. So I need to stir it up. The older formula needs a little more attention than the newer one does. But I think this is good and ready to use. It's a little clumpy, a little cottage cheesy, but it'll be okay. So, I don't want to use a whole lot of Peachy Keen because it's not a very neutral color. And I want this to be as neutral as I possibly can get it. So everything is going to be done in Storm, except for our little piglet. The little piglet will be in Peachy Keen. Just a light touch of pink. And leave that on thick for a second. Do our little piglet. Completely covered all the screened area. Okay, there's no screen showing whatsoever. And so now I'm going to remove the excess. This is why it's lasting forever. Because it just, you really don't use a lot at all. And it goes right back in the jar. I'm wanting to make sure I don't have any stripes of thickness, because if I do, they tend to show up on your design. Okay. Take this off. There we go. Okay, let's see how she looks. Ooh, yeah, there it is. It never, ever, ever gets old. Peeling this away never gets old. All right, I'll wash that when I'm done. So, this side is done. I'm going to dry it a little bit. It's going to get, uh-oh. I need to get that off of there. I'm just going to use this. There we go. All right. It's going to get loud if you want to turn down your volume. Now you have to be careful when you wax a surface and then you paste on it, and when you're drying it, you don't want to dry it too long or too high of a heat, because then what will happen is your wax will start liquefying, you know, kind of melting, and then it'll ruin your, it'll bubble up and ruin your design. But this is dried and ready. So that's side one. Simple, adorable, I love it. Now, side two. Hey Cheryl, I will. I'll tell her hi. In LA. Are you there for fun? Okay, so now I want to be careful. I don't want to scratch that up. So I'm going to put something under it. There you go. Now, since I paid twice of what I normally would pay, I'm going to make this a double-sided project. And I'm really loving how the Storm looks on here. And I know Storm gray is not a normal Christmas color, but I think it'll be beautiful. And then after all this is done, I will take it into my craft room and I will spray it with Mod Podge so that it will be sealed. That's the word I'm looking for. Sealed. 1 1/4, 1 1/4. Woohoo! Gotta love it. NASCAR. Oh, girl. That sounds like fun. Just want to make sure it's straight. I'm just going to use the storm. I was going to do black, but I'm loving the way the storm looks on here. So, that's what I'm doing. There are little tiny stars. That's why I'm covering the top so much. So whoever ends up with this cutting board will have something to have in their kitchen year-round. And then when Christmas time comes along, all they got to do is turn it around. And it'll be ready for the Christmas season. I hope I don't drop that stir stick. Here we go. I didn't drop it, but I sure did make a mess. Okay. So now I'm just going to scrape off the excess. There we go. I'm getting all the excess lines off. Okay. Let's see what we got going here. Ah, I just got... I'm going to have to touch that up or wash it off. One or the other. Oh my goodness. Perfect. Perfect. I need to touch up that little gray spot where I put over there. Let me put this over here so I can wash it later. I need to get my little... Oh, it's coming right off. Thank goodness. Okay. So now I'm going to dry this a little bit. Now, I see a couple spots I want to touch up. So I've got my detail tool and it's got this plastic little pointed part right there. So I'm just going to dab it in there and put it on the end. I'm just kind of filling in a few spots that didn't quite go through. we go. They're not perfect, and that's okay. But I wanted to fill in the letters just a little bit more than what they had done. There are no chalk emergencies. I want to catch my O a little bit. So I'm just putting a tiny bit on there and just, the board is uneven right there. There's a little bit of a dip. It didn't quite get through. There we go. Perfect. All right, that's it. It's done. I'll take it back and seal it later, but this is the side for Christmas. And that's a little star that got over there. That's cool. And then this is the side for all year round. So we had just a normal little cutting board. Little, I say little, it's huge. Here, let's put this back. Push that through. Take the tape off. Now, if whoever ends up with this, if they want, they can wrap a bow around it for Christmas, you know, just to add a little bit of a flair to it for Christmas, a little bit of Christmas color. They could take a ribbon and wrap it around and make a little bow up here and just kind of let it drape down the sides. But I think for now, this is absolutely perfect the way it is. And that's it. All done for tonight. So I will put details in I will post details about the changes that are happening. And this is going to be the first product, the first finished makeover that will be available for purchase, and the profits from the sale will go to Loaves and Fishes. And Loaves and Fishes is associated with Turning Point Thrift Store, and so that will be the charity for the month. Loaves and Fishes. Loaves and Fishes provides groceries and meals and church service for people in the area. And I believe that we all need to eat, right? So I want to do what I can to help as well. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm glad you joined me from LA. You'll have to post pictures of your time there. I'm sure you're having a good time. I'm a little jelly. All right, I'll talk to y'all later, okay? Bye-bye.